In May 2024, users testing a new artificial intelligence feature on the world's most popular website were given some highly unusual instructions. The AI confidently advised them to eat rocks for daily minerals and recommended applying non-toxic glue to keep cheese from sliding off their pizza. Google controls 90% of the global search market. Every day, billions of queries pass through its servers, making it the primary gateway to the internet for the vast majority of the planet. For decades, it built a reputation as a reliable, passive index. You asked a question, and it pointed you to a list of websites where you could find the answer. But this glue on pizza incident highlighted an aggressive strategic pivot. The engine was now trying to write the answers directly. The catalyst for this rushed deployment was the sudden arrival of generative AI competitors like OpenAI's ChatGPT. The idea that users could get human-like responses without ever typing a query into a search bar sent executives into a panic, forcing them to integrate their own generative AI into the search interface. This transition from a search engine to an answer engine alters the flow of information across the web. Instead of acting as a digital traffic cop, directing users outward to other creators, the system now consumes that traffic, keeping users locked onto its own page. To understand the scale of this transition, we have to look back to 1996, to a research project at Stanford University. This animated diagram visualizes how the internet was organized by founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin. They built an algorithm called PageRank. Instead of evaluating a web page by simply counting how many times a keyword appeared in its text, PageRank evaluated the links pointing to that page. It treated every human-generated backlink from one site to another as a democratic vote of confidence. By relying on this mathematical evaluation of trust, the system instantly filtered out keyword-stuffed spam. The sites with the most external validation naturally rose to the top of the search results. This architecture established a mutually beneficial contract with the internet. The engine provided users with highly relevant answers, rewarding the independent publishers who hosted them with valuable click-through traffic. By 2010, the company's philosophy began to shift. Then CEO Schmidt publicly noted that most people didn't actually want to search for answers. They wanted the engine to tell them what they should be doing next. We can see this transition in action with the 2012 introduction of the knowledge graph. The system stopped matching simple text strings and started mapping real-world entities. Search for a historical figure, and a side panel immediately structures their birth date, spouse, and career into interconnected data points right on the screen. A year later, an algorithm update known as Hummingbird caught the system to parse conversational context, looking at the intent behind a natural, full-sentence question. These back-end upgrades caused physical changes to the results page. Users started seeing rich snippets, integrated shopping tabs, and immediate answer boxes. This drove a massive rise in zero-click searches, where users found their answer and closed the tab without ever leaving the search interface. This semantic leap quietly eroded the original contract with web creators. By displaying extracted facts directly in the search results, the engine delivered the web's information without rewarding the original publishers with traffic. Fast forward to 2023. To counter the rising threat of external generative AI tools, the company unveiled its Search Generative experience, later renamed AI Overviews. This feature doesn't just pull isolated snippets from a single page. It actively synthesizes data from across multiple websites to write entirely original, paragraph-length responses directly to the user. Generating these synthesized answers requires massive computational power. A single AI-generated query consumes an estimated 30 times more energy than a conventional text search. For news organizations and independent sites, this architecture creates a catastrophic financial reality. Digital publishers rely entirely on outbound links and the advertising revenue those clicks generate to survive. AI overviews represent the ultimate realization of Eric Schmidt's 2010 vision. The engine consumes the web's knowledge, synthesizes it, and completely severs the user's need to ever visit the open internet. This technological evolution is also driven by internal financial pressure. Internal documents disclosed during recent antitrust trials revealed a deliberate strategy to alter search queries behind the scenes, using semantic matching to artificially increase the number of commercial, revenue-generating results shown to users. Prioritizing these commercial outcomes has resulted in a heavily monetized search experience. Today, users routinely scroll past screens of sponsored links and shopping carousels just to find a single organic result. This diagram illustrates the sociological consequences of algorithmic curation. As the engine tailors results to what it predicts a user wants to see, diverse information is filtered out. The user is eventually enclosed in an isolated digital sphere, commonly referred to as a filter bubble. Beyond personalization, the massive datasets powering these algorithms inadvertently absorb historical human biases. When users search for images of specific demographics, the system has routinely reproduced prejudiced stereotypes directly in the visual results. Because the platform holds absolute market dominance, users cannot easily opt out. The company's internal financial priorities and its inherited algorithmic flaws automatically become the default reality for the global internet. In August 2024, a Washington, D.C. judge handed down a landmark ruling. Google operates an illegal monopoly over internet search. The court found that this dominance wasn't maintained strictly through superior technology. The company pays device manufacturers like Apple tens of billions of dollars every year just to guarantee its status as the default engine on smartphones and browsers. These massive, exclusive financial deals, combined with an interface perfectly engineered to keep users locked inside the ecosystem, made it virtually impossible for any rival search engine to gain a foothold in the market. A simple research project built in a Stanford garage to organize hyperlinks grew into a global juggernaut, aggressively using vast wealth to defend its territory. The foundational infrastructure of the internet is now locked inside an illegal, AI-driven monopoly. The entire digital economy is waiting to see if the justice system can force the gates back open.